Everything is perfect. Whether you call it the first cause, the universe, or God, all these things are perfect. Once perfect, it changes, and even if it changes, it is perfect. If something that was perfect at first changes and becomes imperfect, then it must be seen that it was not perfect in the first place. In other words, nothing created by a change in a perfect first cause cannot be imperfect. Once perfect, even if it is divided innumerably, it is also perfect. Let's take an example. Water is water even when divided. Even if the wind is divided, it is the wind. A cloud is a cloud even if it is divided. Everything in the world thus separated from the perfect first cause is also perfect. Of course, even when all of them are put together, they are complete. A perfect first cause never makes a mistake, and never makes anything imperfect in the first place. However, in reality, most of what is seen in the world seems incomplete, and full of contradictions. Is it not sophistry to say that all this is perfect? Humans have their own perspectives, such as their own ways of thinking, and worldviews formed in their environment and experiences. It is only natural, then, that the world seems imperfect from the human point of view. Then, is the world that we see, hear, and feel through our eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and tactile senses really incomplete? In other words, aren't we seeing a distorted world that is different from reality through the colored glasses of the organ of perception? If you take off the colored glasses, will the world look perfect as it is? To begin with, the world seen through the colored glasses and the world seen through the colored glasses are inherently perfect. It's just that you view something from a certain point of view, or prejudice, and consider it incomplete. In the same way, if the real world is also enlightened and sees the whole without prejudice, you will know that everything is inherently perfect. If you know this, you won't panic. Even if something amazing beyond your imagination happens in front of your eyes. The reason most of the world seems imperfect is that we haven't seen the whole process of changing them. It is because they are looking at only a small part of them, with prejudices and stereotypes derived from their limited experience. As a human being, I am also constantly changing in relation to everything. Therefore, at certain moments and from a certain point of view, I, too, seem imperfect. But since I am one with the first cause, I am complete in itself. At the same time, it is an immortal being that is constantly changing. In other words, my life and death are also another name for change. All these changes are perfect in themselves. There is nothing in the world that I can think of separating me. Everything, including me, is the perfect first cause that divides, blends, and changes itself. If you realize this, you will know that everything is beautiful and in perfect harmony. As it is, whether it is the real world or the world of truth. The real world, which seems imperfect, and the world of truth, which seems originally perfect, are in fact one, and all of them are perfect. Someone lives in a mansion where he enjoys delicacies every day, and has piles of gold and silver treasures in his storeroom. He shares happiness with his cute and smart children, as well as his kind-hearted and beautiful wife. I spend time hanging out with good friends around me from time to time. There is no difficulty, no sorrow, no pain at all. Would you be really happy if you lived in a utopia, where there is no sorrow or pain? Maybe you are tired of that joy and happiness and want to escape that boring life. Unlike such utopias, humans in the real world enjoy a lot of joy and happiness in their lives. At the same time, sadness and pain that seem incomplete are also together. I live with these feelings fully in every moment. Happiness goes hand in hand with pain, and joy can only be fully felt when it is paired with sadness. Let's take another example. Imagine you have a high-tech car with the best performance. Let's assemble and remove one very small part of the car. Now the car is not fully functional. Here, let's assume that this high-tech car is everything, the universe. And one small part is the real me. In this way, no matter how insignificant something in the world is, nothing can be perfected without that insignificant thing. A perfect universe without even the slightest detail is unthinkable. Each and everything, including me, is perfect. And they come together to form a complete universe. In this way, small and large things, low and precious things, high and low things, good and bad things, etc., all of them come together to become a complete one. It is to become a perfect being that never increases or decreases. Neither arises nor disappears. Everything that seems imperfect or extreme is an essential element for the completion of a perfect universe. In other words, no matter what it looks like or what it is, everything is perfect as it is. Like a roller coaster that crosses poles and poles, the world is ever-changing, and the order of the universe. What is stable and unchanging is not perfect. But rather what is change is perfect. I can choose one of countless lives at this moment. Depending on what I think, say, or do from now on, my life will change in the future. Now, in this moment, the life I choose leads me to a new destination. After a few days, it may go bankrupt and become a beggar. The beggar could become a conglomerate in a few years through hard work. Obsessed with wealth, honor, and power, they run blindly. At some point, you may suddenly wonder who you are, and go on the path to enlightenment. On the path to enlightenment, you may or may not finally reach enlightenment. Anyone can achieve anything if they choose their own path and work hard. However, if you are not careful, you can fall off a cliff in an instant. The world is complete only when it has all the beings who play various roles. And all of that life has already been prepared. Just like the products waiting for customers to choose in a department store with all products. My life changes as much as I choose at this moment. Of course, you don't have to shop at the department store. Just looking at it doesn't matter. Because whatever you choose or don't do, everything is inherently perfect. This world where you can choose anything is perfect as it is now. However, from the point of view of most humans, the world seems imperfect. This is because they cannot overcome the limitations of their environment, experience, limited abilities and nature, and roles. The reason the world looks imperfect like this is because of the distorted and narrow perspective of the viewer. If you look at the world from the perspective of an enlightened person, it is so complete. You don't have to do anything extra to be perfect. Being perfect by nature, you don't have to choose or be chosen. A perfect thing is perfect in itself without any effort. And that perfection spontaneously radiates out. The world is a field of perfect opportunity with an infinite number of cases. No matter what you pursue, do not doubt anymore and know that everything that exists at this moment is perfect as it is. We are traveling through a perfect world, in which the first causes divide themselves, mix and change. In other words, it is a complete traveler in a complete world of its own making. Thank you very much for watching this video.